Scotty, where are we? I don't know, Captain. It's a strange planet. We're gonna have to go outside and investigate. Agreed, Captain, but we better be careful. What is that? It could be a friend. It could be a foe. Oh God, the horror, the horror!
How you doing?
Hey, toy fanatics. So I'm here with another review. Looking at some old vintage type toys. So this was actually from, I believe, 1993 or 96 actually. And this was a part of their small kind of figure line called Innerspace that Playmates had put out. So they were kind of battling with Galileo at the time. Galileo had the license for the Micro Machines, and Playmates also wanted to have some of their own Micro Machine type stuff in it, because Star Wars had a whole run of action fleet. So this is their type of action fleet line called Innerspace. I picked this up. It packages pretty shot, like it's pretty damaged. However, the insides are okay. So we're gonna look at it. Much like I did in the video, I really feel like these were meant for you to just kind of put in your pocket and go play. So I can't wait. Open this up, check it out, and boldly go where no toy has gone before. And this is a card for the Star Trek Innerspace Shuttlecraft Galileo. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is my card is beat up. It's pretty damaged, but it still has kind of a basic look for what you got with most of the line. One big difference is that this is the classic Star Trek logo, whereas the others had the Next Generation. And a lot of them at this point, you know, with the Shuttlecraft Galileo, this is the only one I remember that actually had the classic look about it. Other than that, we got a couple of actual NASA capsules and landers, but nothing from the Star Trek original series. So that's something to keep in mind. Everything displays really nicely inside the window, so that way it opens up and you can see some of the inside of the vehicle, which I thought was a really nice touch for what they did. And you get the two figures displayed on the outside of the vehicles. That way you can see what they look like. Each one of these actually has a file card, and the file card gives some nice stats about the vehicle itself, names, and a little bit of history, which is a nice touch. And the back of the picture actually has an open photo of the shuttlecraft with the figures inside, so that way we can kind of see what the play features are. And each play feature is bubbled out at the very top, and then it has a diagram pointing to where that play feature would be on the vehicle. We get a little bit of cross-cell art over in the yellow box that actually has the Apollo Command Service Module, and then the Lunar Lander, and then the USS Defiant. This was towards the end of the wave, so these are the last vehicles we're really getting. Alright, now that's all there really is to say about the card. Let's open it up and let's see what's inside. And this is Galileo outside of the package. Now, I do love the look of this thing. I think it is very, very nice. I do have a few complaints. The sticker placement is a little off, especially on the right side of the vehicle, because I have the NCC 17017 kind of going at an angle, and the stickers on the engines are also off. Now, the only stickers that we get are on the engines, the two sides, the Galileo stickers. There's one on the rear hatch and the others are on the front. The painted features are red accents and the black windows, which is a nice touch. We should see what this looks like open. I like seeing the shuttle open. I love the detail work on the inside. The stickers are a nice touch. The kind of minty gray color on the inside is a really nice touch as well. The one thing I noticed that we don't have that we had shown on the back of the card was a bit of kind of a salmon color, and we didn't get that painted in on this. So the ones that we get in the real world are not painted quite as nicely as the one that's in the back of the photo. But still, it's a very nice looking ship, all in all. Few things to note: the back hatch doesn't open all the way down, so it kind of stops there. I figured it would actually set all the way down, almost like steps, but it doesn't. I do like the position of all of the consoles to each side, and the one thing to keep in mind is each console is a mirror reflection of the other, so it's the same from one to the other. But it's really nice that they have all this detail work in there. I think probably one of my favorite pieces of this is the piloting console. I think it looks so nice, and it has a lot of those nice touches that we get with the original ship. And this is one of those things that, looking at the pilot console for the Playmates larger shuttlecraft, which we'll compare later, I love seeing that they carried on those details from there to here as well. It's something that displays nicely, and quite honestly, this is one that I think would be really good for collectors that need smaller items for their space, but still really want to show off some Star Trek love. Alright, now let's take a closer look at the shuttlecraft. And actually, I would say let's start with these two figures first. So, all the figures in the line for the Innerspace, and actually Strike Force as well, which was their second run, they have articulation only in the legs. Everything else is posed up. Okay? They stand up okay, but they sit probably better. Now, the main focus here is the shuttle. And with the shuttle, like all the things that we have in here, you've got rotating seats, you've got fold-down sensor arrays. This whole thing actually snaps into place together like that. This folds up and down, and this folds up and down. Though, oh, there it goes. This little leg here comes off often. And I don't know if it was because of the design or what. In some ways, I'd have preferred just to have the leg sitting out like that, so we didn't have to worry about it anymore, and have this be able to fold down further than that. But alas, that's what we get. Now, there are two metal pegs here on the bottom. These can be magnetized, but they're meant there to hold the chairs into place, okay? Now, let's compare it. I happen to have an action fleet. There's a good old glorious TIE fighter. And let's compare Kirk to a TIE fighter pilot. Yeah, about the same size. One key difference between the two is that all the action fleet actually had a bit of a stand, whereas Innerspace did not. They were supposed to stand on their own, the others were supposed to stand with the stand. And you can kind of tell, like, the stand one seems to work better, okay? But to scale, I mean, this seems to be a little under scale, though it's pretty good for what we get. This is supposed to be at the right size compared to the figure. Those TIE fighters with the solar rays are actually kind of big. Now, let's compare it to Playmates' other shuttlecraft Galileo. And this is probably my favorite shuttlecraft in the entire series. So this is probably one of my top 10 favorite toys, if not the #1 favorite toy of all time for me. Woo! Looky there. We're going to close this down so we could take a look at the two side by side. Put them out of the way. So that's the shuttlecraft Galileo from Playmates, from the original, the normal 5-inch line. And then this is our Innerspace Shuttle. So you can see a vast difference between the two. I used to carry this with me everywhere because I had a deep backpack. Now I just carry this with me because it's a lot easier. Difference is this folds up, that folds out, this folds open. Some of what they did with these particular shuttlecrafts in the Innerspace line, I kind of wish they'd have done some of that here. Even with like an open top or a top that would open partially so we could play on the inside. I'm really digging how these have worked out so far. And for miniature scale, they fit so well. Fly him out. That's our shuttlecraft. Honestly, out of the Innerspace line, the ones that I can remember having, I had the shuttlecraft Goddard, which I'm still in the market to get. That's the one from the next generation. The Borg Cube, which I thought was a pretty cool little set. I did have the Enterprise. That was the Colossal Enterprise that opened up, and it had the bridge set, 10 forward, the captain's room, and the jail cell, and then it had the opening shuttle bay in the back. Other than that, I also had the communicator playset, which was the transporter room. And then I had like the Cleon bird of prey. And out of these, the shuttlecrafts have been my favorite. I think because they're a little more to scale to the figures, whereas the other ones, they're just a little off. My lasting opinion, I think it's kind of a cool toy. That's a review. It's interesting because as simple as this is, it's a lot of fun being so small. And with the whole Mighty Max craze, which I absolutely adored those things, I remember back in the day having a few of these and carrying them around in my pocket, and I'd get bored, be at a family reunion or something, didn't really want to be there, had all my headphones, listen to music, and I'd pull these out, start playing Star Trek. Again, it's very simple. There's not a lot to it. Okay, cost. So I got this toy online because the beat up package, I ended up getting it for about $12, which is a really good deal. So I'm going to go $1 sign. And the reason why I say that is because when I started looking for this for other vendors and other sellers, prices started going up and up and up and up and up. 15 was an average price on the low end. However, most of the prices I saw were about $20 for this on eBay because they're not printed anymore. So this, if you're going to get it, you're going to have to get it aftermarket. You're looking usually $15 to $20. I got mine for $12, $1 sign. So I got a deal on it. As far as stars, I'm going to go 4 stars. I didn't go any higher because, there were some little irksome things like, the foot falling off because, it's not set in there the right way. And, and the hatch, not opening all the way and being kind of just a little weird. Some of the paint loss on the hand of Scotty. The stickers being kind of misplaced. Those little things, it brings it down a little bit. Overall, it's fun for what it is. It's simple. It's unique. It's throw it in your pocket. Go play. I had this with me at school. My kids were trying to play with it. I told them, no, leave them alone. Same thing. Kids love it. They're a lot of fun. So as stars, 4 out of 5. I think that's the way to go for this one. To be honest, I'm seeing a need for resurgence for these. Now, I know the Pirate Treasure X stuff, the King's Treasure X Gold, they're kind of like minifigures. That's kind of online with these, and they're selling really well. I could imagine something like this with miniatures on that scale for a little bit older boys and girls would probably sell really well again because, there's kind of a resurgence with kids really wanting to go and play with toys yet again. That this being kind of a remocking of the 90s, it might not be a bad thing to have on market. So definitely something to consider. I know Micro Machines has made a comeback, so this might be right around the alley, okay? So that's all I got to say about it. Remember, they're not dolls. They're action figures boldly going where no other action figure has gone. This episode of Tay Ray Gun was sponsored by Marvin Dog Media. To learn more about Marvin Dog Media, visit www.marvindogmedia.com. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below to let YouTube know that you like what I'm making. And be sure to hit that bell notification so you get updates to future content.